Alright, hello kids. Today we're reacting to unexpected things about the Netherlands Dutch culture shocks. How much you want to bet they're gonna have the what is it called? The bread with the sprinkles. I kind of want to try that. I heard some people put butter on that, and I feel like you should go to jail if you do that. But anyway.
Goedemorgen and welcome back. Today we're gonna—
That's like the only thing I know in Dutch. Goedemorgen. That means good morning. It looks like I'm in a tornado of different lighting like every 2 seconds because the sun does that sometimes.
be sharing some of the things we had never seen before moving to the Netherlands, so let's get right into it. With number 10, no one really wears a helmet when cycling. With how common cycling—
Why? Go to the store and buy yourself a helmet. I literally have a concussion right now. It's not funny. Last week on Friday, I passed out. Smacked my head on the ground. Just wear a hammy. Although, maybe it's because they're the bike capital of the world. You know, maybe they're just the best bikers in the world because they're always on bikes. I don't know who I'm trying to like persuade with that information. Maybe me, because I think that just wear a helmet, please.
Here in the Netherlands, you might be surprised to know that most people here don't wear helmets. But there's a good reason for that. The Dutch have built pretty incredible infrastructure that exists just to protect cyclists when they're biking.
When you fall on the concrete ground, like me, when you bonk your noggin, it's a little painful, I'm not gonna lie. There's a bunch of flies in my window. In between the, what were we talking about? I don't think infrastructure is gonna protect your noggin. I could be wrong.
As opposed to when cyclists aren't biking, I don't know. Children are taught at a young age how to ride bikes and follow the rules of the road. 27% of all trips—
I was taught as a child how to ride a bike.
Netherlands are made by bikes, so this means that people who are in a car will almost always have to share the road with a cyclist.
If you're a Dutch person and you're on your bike and you're like going down the road, are you like secretly, do you feel like superior because you're in the Netherlands riding a bike? When you see the people walking by, you're like, do normal. I remember that. Just be normal. Is that what you're telling them? You're like, look at these muggles just walking.
On their journey. And this creates an awareness and willingness to share the road that's pretty much unmatched in any other country.
Yeah, that looks like it would take me 10 years to figure out how to do that. Like, this lady looks like she's about to drive right into a car.
Oh boy, I would get in so much trouble riding my bike without a helmet when I was a kid.
Yeah, when you're a kid in the US, you're basically told that anytime you're on the bike, you have to wear a helmet.
I was not told that. My cousins had four-wheelers, and whenever me and my siblings would ride them, we wouldn't wear helmets. It was not a thing. So one time my brother fell off and broke his back. He broke his spine. I would assume he also hit his noggin, but he's fine now. Mostly.
Here in the Netherlands, the only people that wear helmets are tourists.
Yep.
And it's a good way to find out who's a tourist when you're in the bike lane.
You tourists. You hooligan tourists with your stupid helmets.
Number 9. People here are obsessed with fireworks. We're not unfamiliar with
Oh yeah, I remember that one. They do that on like New Year's and stuff.
fireworks. It's a big tradition that happens several times a year in the US, but it is absolutely—
I constantly hear fireworks here. I think it happens like every day. No idea what they're for. And so they just do the really big boom ones. Like they're not even pretty. I want the pretty ones.
level here. In the weeks leading up to New Year's Day, you'll begin to hear fireworks in the evening, and it all leads up to New Year's Eve when it's nonstop all across the city from around 11 p.m. to 3 a.m.
The laws on fireworks vary depending on where you live in the Netherlands, but generally they're illegal except between 6 p.m. on New Year's Eve and 2 a.m. on New Year's Day. But in Rotterdam, they're outlawed completely, and that really didn't seem to stop anybody. Number 8. The Netherlands has absolutely incredible—
You little rebels in Rotterdam. With your illegal firework performances.
Netherlands has absolutely incredible parking for bikes. If you find yourself in a Dutch train station—
I would hope so.
take a look around for a sign that says Fietsenstalling. It's going to lead you to a massive section of the train station that's completely full of bikes. Around 40% of train passengers in the Netherlands bike.
Oh, hey, so that bike's in a tree. creative parking, I suppose. I actually can't tell. Is that part of the building or is that... It looks like it's in the tree. Okay.
Station every day, and many have a bike that they park before they get to the train, and then another bike waiting for them at their destination.
And we're not just talking about a bike rack in a covered area of the train station. They have their own routes and ramps, easily allowing cyclists to enter and exit and be on their way really quickly. Many also offer repair shops so you can drop...
I can just imagine someone like, you know that like meme where it's like, I imagine someone like going by someone walking in the Netherlands on their bike, and with that meme where it's like, I woke up in a new Bugatti.
I am not.
You're on your way home. To top it all off, the first 24 hours are completely free, and after that, it's still pretty cheap. And if your bike does get stolen from one of...
Wow. If you never pay it, it's free. You might go to jail, but it's free.
the secured areas, NS will reimburse you up to 750 euros. That is shocking, in a good way.
I'm shocked.
We haven't used the bike park
In a good way.
at a train station yet, but after doing some of this research, I really can't wait to try it out.
Can't wait to get your bike stolen.
No, I mean, if they
You want
do,
to buy a new one?
will they give me more than my bike's worth?
No, I doubt it.
Dang it.
Number 7, there are urinals for you to pee in, but they're outside.
That's wonderful.
Now, public restrooms aren't super common anywhere in the world. At best, you may run into a restroom on a street that you can use for a nominal fee. But you will find these urinals scattered around the Netherlands, especially when there's some sort of an event. And here's a strange bit about them.
What's this? What's going on here, buddy? This looks like some kind of this looks like one of those water slides, and it just like shoots down. Do you guys have underwater aquatic parks? Is that what this is? You gotta pee on it for it to be activated. This is shocking to me. I can't get what? Well, that's not fair. That's only for the guys. Right?
There's not really any privacy outside of these pee curls that you might find in Amsterdam. There's just
I feel like I shouldn't have been watching that. Like,
a spot to pee in, right in the middle of the square with no walls or anything. But people do use them, so much so that pretty much everywhere that we've gone to in the Netherlands has been free of that pee smell that you'll find so frequently when you're visiting a big city. So using this urinal was a pretty weird experience for me, but honestly, it didn't really matter because I was just really happy that I was able to pee.
It is important.
That is pretty much what you're looking
7 times a day, they say you should pee.
for when you're out and about and you got to use the restroom, and I don't think the rest of the details matter.
Yeah, having to pee can really spoil a trip.
Having to worry about where you're going to pee can really spoil a day trip.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing that gets me is I wish they had a female version of this. The Dutch
Yeah. Because how are we going to go to the underwater aquatic park?
built an island, they can figure out how to make a female urinal. Number 6, Dutch people seem to really love licorice. The Dutch love licorice of all kinds, minty, honey, and even salty varieties.
I didn't know they had multiple varieties. I heard something about licorice. Actually, I'm not even going to say it because I don't... It affects some kind of bodily function, is all I'm going to say. You can do your own research on it, but I like red licorice. How about you? I hate black licorice. Never tried minty licorice, I can say. I like minty, you know, some people are like, oh, why would you eat mint ice cream or this? It tastes like toothpaste. Toothpaste is flavored that way because it's a good flavor for...
This isn't just a special occasion thing that you might only find at a candy store.
It doesn't even look like licorice. Lots of bonuses, oh my gosh. Here we have them in like a, more of like a plastic see-through kind of, no, I don't know.
If you go into any grocery store in the Netherlands, you'll find one half of an aisle devoted to it. And the average Dutch person consumes around 4 pounds of licorice every year. So why is it so
In America, I feel like the equivalent to that would be hot dogs. I love hot dogs.
popular? The short answer is it's an acquired taste that many people have from a very young age.
I feel like, yeah, like for us, it's like root beer. A lot of people don't like root beer when they try it, but a lot of people from Great Britain, I've heard especially, they don't get the hype over root beer. Root beer is my first love. Okay, we have this special bond that will never be broken. I get a lot of cavities. Okay, I get cavities all the time. I've probably had 60 cavities. Now that might sound horrible, and that's because it is. But hear me out. I have great dental hygiene. My dental hygiene is good. Okay, brush and floss twice a day, mouthwash, all that. But my dentist said that the inside of my teeth are like chalk. I don't know what to do with that information. So I tend to avoid a lot of sodas, but root beer, if you're looking at a pH scale, is one of the least acidic sodas. So, you know what's really acidic is blueberries. More so than root beer. Take that with you will what you.
Also, it's said to have a soothing effect on the throat and sinuses, so many people will carry it with them to get them through those really rough Dutch winters. And the licorice here is very different than the varieties you might find in the United States. It's less sticky and sweet and meant to be enjoyed more slowly.
I'm sure we'll get comments noting that red licorice in the United States isn't actually licorice, which is true.
Yep.
Just candy.
I like it.
I've never tried actual licorice.
Number 5, the Dutch do trash collection like no other. So imagine you live in the Netherlands and you need to get rid of the trash in your house. Well, if you live in the city, you might see a trash can near your home that looks like this. And when you first look at it, you might think, there's no way that's big enough for everyone's trash. Well,
oh my gosh, your voice got really low really fast.
it is, because 80% of it's actually underground. Visually, this is much more appealing since it doesn't take up too much of public space.
Also, if you live in the city, you might be given a little card that allows you to unlock the dumpster.
Wait, is the trash going to the underground aquatic parks? Come on, guys. We gotta do better than that. We gotta keep our aquatic parks clean, okay?
But if you're walking down the street and you've got a little bit of trash to throw away, there's generally like a little opening on the front of the dumpster where you can do that. So the way that this works in a US home or an apartment complex would be like you have your own trash bin and you drag it out to the street and it gets picked up like once a week. Or if you're in an apartment, there's like a giant dumpster somewhere in the parking lot that you just throw all of your garbage
It's
in.
funny you mentioned that because I think more commonly, especially in a bigger city, there's a hole in your...
Oh, right.
Yeah, like a covered hole in your hallway at your apartment building, and you dump it in there, and it stinks, and it is dirty.
You know, recently we had to like get rid of a desk, and we were just gonna like, it was like really bad. So we weren't even gonna like give it away. So here we have like sometimes they'll come and do like a big trash collection. It's of like big items, and it just happened to be like last week or something. So we put it out on the side of the road. It was gone. Isn't that a crazy story? I know you were on the edge of the seat. I know you were on the edge of your seat like the whole time while I was saying that,
so smelly.
Yeah, so walking like half of a block to go to this like covered underground dumpster thing is just great.
Number 4, congratulating everyone on your birthday. If you find yourself going to a birthday party in the Netherlands...
Yeah, I remember them saying that one. You know, and I think this one is great because, okay, so if it was my birthday and people were like congratulating each other on my birthday, I'd be like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. It should be an honor for you.
Be prepared for everyone to congratulate you. You'll likely hear people say gefeliciteerd, which means congratulations in Dutch. And it's not because you did something amazing, but because you know the birthday boy or girl. Instead of wishing the person who is celebrating happy birthday, it's a Dutch custom to congratulate them and everyone else who is at their party.
That's a cat. Is it the cat's birthday?
But that doesn't just extend to those at the party. Are you their girlfriend, their neighbor, their parent? Even the colleagues of your mother might congratulate her, even if they don't know you, just because they know it's your birthday. I could not find the origin of this tradition, so I hope someone knows it, and if you do, please leave it in the comments below.
Here's my theory. Okay, so, you know, roughly a while ago, there was a person who, it was their birthday. Only one person remembered their birthday, and so they're like, you guys, you told John happy birthday, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, no, I didn't know it was his birthday. And then so they're like, yeah, you should tell him happy birthday. And then, but they misheard, okay? So they actually thought that they said, you guys, it's Bob's birthday. And so they're like, oh my gosh, we gotta congratulate Bob. It's his birthday. Oh my god. And then, so they go to congratulate Bob. John is also there. So you can see the confusion a little bit because it wasn't Bob's birthday. So then Bob was like, oh, it's not my birthday. And then John's like, but it is my birthday. And they're like, right, we know it's your birthday, John. Yeah, that's why we're telling Bob happy birthday, because he's your friend. And what an honor it is to know you, John. You know, so that's why we're congratulating your friends on knowing you, and you were born on a day this day, but not that year because he wasn't a baby. And that's the origin.
I could not find the origin of this tradition, so I hope someone knows it, and if you do, please leave it in the comments below.
Number 3, the Netherlands has free sunscreen at many beaches and public spaces. Did you forget your sunscreen at the beach? No problem, because the chances are good.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the beach that much because I'm pale, but they got sunscreen there. I don't really like applying sunscreen, but that's cool. Is it chemical or mineral sunscreen?
They're good that you're going to find a free sunscreen dispenser nearby. The Netherlands began offering free sunscreen this year at beaches, parks, and festivals in response to record levels of skin cancer.
Oh.
The hope is that if an investment's made upfront in providing sunscreen and educating people on how important it can be, it'll reduce the cost of healthcare later on. In many cases, it was pretty easy for them just to convert the hand sanitation stations that they recently built because of, and just turn those into free sunscreen dispensers. And we've also noticed that sunscreen is actually pretty expensive here in Europe compared to the US, so it's good that the government's offering it for free because, you do need to wear it. It's important.
Yeah. Like I said, I am pale as I wear sunscreen most days, but make sure it's mineral sunscreen. Chemical is fine every once in a while.
Like that song.
Like that song from 2003 or whatever.
No one remembers that song.
No one remembers that song, but good message.
Wear sunscreen. Do one thing every day that scares you.
In the US, using sunscreen was definitely instilled in me from a young age. Like, I remember my mom making me wear like a t-shirt and sunscreen when I was going swimming. So
the sunscreen was on top of the t-shirt.
Number 2, be aware that you might find an environmentally friendly towel dispenser in a public restroom. In our travels, we've seen many different ways of drying your hands after you wash them. Maybe it's a disposable paper towel, maybe it's an air dryer, or nothing at all and you bring your own hand towel with you. But this one is definitely the strangest. Let me try to describe it. At first glance, it looks like a disposable towel dispenser, but the towel doesn't detach from the roll. Instead, you pull the towel down, wipe your hands, and then it'll retract the used portion of the towel back up. And when the next person comes along, they pull on the towel, and it's ideally a dry, fresh part of the roll for them. In our experience,
Wait, but how's it get cleaned? Wait. But like, does it get cleaned? What if someone goes in there? They were eating like chicken wings. They go in there, they don't even wash their hands in there. What if they just go in and they ruin it? They're wiping their chicken finger hands all over the thing, and then it'll just come out like that?
it's typically still wet from another person's hands. Maybe we're using them wrong.
But they're better for the environment since there's no paper waste, so we really can't complain. Number 1, there's horse meat for sale at butchers and at restaurants. Horse meat is commonly sold at butchers in the form of paardenworst, which is a smoked horse meat sausage, or you can find it at a restaurant in surfvlees or stoofvlees, which is a horse meat stew, and you can even put that on top of your fries in some places. Now, it does seem like it's a lot less common than it used to be, because when we'll hear about a restaurant or a butcher shop that still has this, it's commonly called traditional, or it's one of the few restaurants that still serves it this way. We've been able to try a few versions of it. There's a local butcher here in Dordrecht who sells paardenworst. We tried surfvlees in Maastricht.
It's really good. It tastes like tender pot roast.
And we had the stoofvlees on our fries at the Wendy's in Goes. Holy moly. So what are some weird, unexpected things about where you live?
I guess it's just kind of like, we eat hamburgers here all the time, okay? But like in some countries, that would be really weird. Eating beef, chicken, pork, like that would be really weird. Like, I guess it's just kind of different. Anyway, they didn't even talk about the sprinkles on the bread. What is it called? Hagel? Schlag? Something like that. Yeah, because it's like hail, and like the hail is the sprinkle. That's what at least I would assume that's what it is. Anyway, you're welcome for telling you the origin of the birthday thing. Glad I could clear that up a little bit. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.